Chris Rock is undoubtedly one of the funniest and most popular comedians of his generation. A talented all-rounder with vast experience in the entertainment industry, Chris Rock, besides stand-up and acting, is also a producer, writer, and director.
What was my best line? I don't know. I never, my jokes are like my children. I have no favorites.
From an early age, he projected a great interest and love for comedy. Jumping into the New York club circuit during his adolescence, his drive and persistence established him as a seasoned veteran by his late teens.
I want to do good work. You know what I mean? I just want to do good work. And if I got the right offer, if the creators of The Simpsons called me up tomorrow, or if Larry David called me up tomorrow and said he had a great idea, I'd be open. I get laughs, so I'll mix it up. Comedy, drama, not totally drama. I'm not gonna play Hannibal Lecter or anything, but, I can do stuff like this. Yeah, I've always tried to get laughs, I'll say that.
From the time when? From the time you were like 4?
From the time, the doctor smacked me on my ass and I said, give me another one. I go, hey, didn't we just meet?
Have you ever bombed on stage in real life?
Bomb all the time. I mean, when I started out, if they paid me for jokes that didn't work, I'd be richer than Bill Gates.
His characters in movies and stand-up leave lasting impressions in the minds of his fans. With stand-up comedy being his first love, Chris always returns to his roots and what he does best, making people laugh.
I was blessed to have a father in my life. True. I had a two-parent family in the hood, in Bed-Stuy. Yep. People would come around and look at my father like it was a science project or something, like put him in a glass case someday and charge people.
Christopher Julius Rock was born in Andrews, South Carolina on February 7, 1965. Shortly after his birth, his parents relocated to the Crown Heights neighborhood of Brooklyn, New York. His mother, Rosalie, was a teacher and social worker, and his father, Julius, was a truck driver and newspaper delivery man. Chris is the oldest of his siblings and has 3 younger brothers who followed in his footsteps in the entertainment industry. He has often spoken about his main influence coming from his paternal grandfather, Alan Rock, who worked as a preacher. In the late 60s, early 70s, Brooklyn's neighborhoods were mostly populated by white families. Chris has spoken about the racial discrimination he faced because of his skin color during his school years. He was regularly beaten up and eventually stopped attending high school for good, but still received a general education diploma. His bitter experience with racism during his school years had a large influence on his career as a comedian.
I've always tried to get laughs, I'll say that.
From the time when? From the time you were like 4?
From the time, the doctor smacked me on my ass and I said, give me another one. I go, hey, didn't we just meet?
After dropping out of school, Chris did odd jobs at several fast food joints and cafeterias to make ends meet. He laid the foundations of his stand-up career in 1984 by performing in the nightclubs and comedy clubs of New York City. In 1985, he was in line to buy tickets to an Eddie Murphy stand-up performance at Radio City Music Hall when he saw an ad in the newspaper for an open mic night at the club Catch a Rising Star. He auditioned and scored his first gig. Catch a Rising Star was where many other celebrated comedians had showed off their skills, names such as Eddie Murphy, Adam Sandler, and Jerry Seinfeld. Chris Rock cleaned tables at the Comic Strip Live, the oldest comedy club in New York City. He did this in order to gain some extra on-stage time. The acclaimed comedian and actor, Eddie Murphy, spotted Chris performing at the comic strip, and being impressed by his performance, he offered him the part of Playboy Mansion valet in the 1987 film Beverly Hills Cop 2. This was his debut movie role.
Yo, what the is up, man? Check this out. I get $10 for cars, I get $20 for limos. What the hell is this?
My truck. Here's $50. Put it next to the limo.
In 1990, after gaining popularity, he was selected to join Saturday Night Live, the hugely popular comedy series that put him on par with other newly recruited cast members. Himself, along with Adam Sandler, David Spade, Rob Schneider, and Chris Farley, became known as the bad boys of SNL. The following year, he came up with his first comedy album titled Born Suspect. He appeared in a total of 59 episodes of Saturday Night Live from 1990 to 1993, and in these 3 years, he earned nationwide fame and recognition as a comedian. His striking and evocative portrayal of Pookie, a cocaine addict in the movie New Jack City, was lauded by his fans and film critics. Chris was quietly planning to quit SNL following the end of the 1992-93 season, but he was laid off and dropped unceremoniously much before the season came to an end. He was then featured as a guest actor in a total of 6 episodes in the 1993-94 season of the comedy series In Living Color, but the serial's broadcasting was discontinued shortly after. In 1993, Chris Rock scripted and co-produced the comedy film CB4, as well as played a double role in the movie. The movie was about a guy who makes a documentary on a rap group called CB4.
Now, CB4 is one of the hottest hip-hop groups to come on the scene in a very, very long time.
Straight out of low cash, a crazy young brother named Gusto. I'm MC Gusto, but in prison I'm known as 97-KY.
CB4, which was made on a shoestring budget, was a modest blockbuster, earning revenues nearly 3 times the movie budget. Chris went on to appear in a string of comedy specials endorsed by HBO from 1994 to 2008 that brought him unprecedented success and made him a household name in the entertainment industry. He first appeared in the HBO-sponsored comedy special Big Ass Jokes in 1994, followed by the special Bring the Pain in 1996.
Just at another point in my life, time to settle down. Time to settle down. That's what time it is. Time to settle down, boy. Women always ready to settle down, boy. And a woman go on a good date. She's like, why are we bullshit? What are you waiting for? Men never ready to settle down. Men don't settle down. We surrender. All right, I'll marry you. All right.
His moving performance in Bring the Pain merited him 2 Emmy Awards and established him as one of the most accomplished satirists in the U.S. comedy circuit. He won 2 Emmy Awards for the special and gained large critical acclaim.
What does it say about the Emmy? It says I would say they really listened. They really watched it carefully, and I think they really listened, and they weren't swayed by profanity or anything. They just really got into the content of what I was trying to say. It was just me. It wasn't a big show or anything. It was just me and a microphone, and I didn't beat, but they chose me over, huge productions and the Oscars and the Bette Midler thing, and a lot of people don't respect stand-up comedy as something hard. I never in my wildest dreams thought I would, be up here with 2 Emmy Awards or even get nominated for an Emmy.
Adding to his popularity was his much-publicized role as a commentator for Comedy Central's Politically Incorrect during the 1996 presidential elections, for which he earned another Emmy nomination. Chris also was the voice for the Little Penny puppet, who was the alter ego to basketball star Penny Hardaway in a series of Nike shoe commercials from 1994 to 1998.
Last night, let me just put it this way. You're the best player in the NBA. I mean, those spin moves and the dunks. Oh, 2 delicious. I had to go outside and do some Tai Chi just to calm myself down.
Man, you are having a party. I swear. If you and your sloppy friends are messing up my house...
Oh, thanks, baby. Meet me by the pool.
Hello?
Hey, I can't talk now. I'm driving through a tunnel.
In 1996, Chris married his longtime girlfriend, Mack Compton. The couple lived together in Alpine, New Jersey. Mack gave birth to his first daughter, Lola Simone, in 2002, and their second daughter, Zara Savannah, was born in 2004.
I think I said this before, with the black shows, I was raised in an era to believe if you're black, you have to do things twice as good as the white man in order to succeed. And the shows that are on now, like when Sanford and Son was on, it's way better than every white show that was on at the time. And the Jeffersons and everything. And right now, you know, some brothers are submitting shows that are as good as white people's, and you got to be better. This show's better than Mr. Show. If it was as good, I wouldn't win.
Chris Rock's immense success as a stand-up comedian towards the end of the 1990s helped him to bag crucial roles in feature films, many of which went on to become blockbusters. Initially, he fulfilled supporting parts in movies like Beverly Hills Ninja, Lethal Weapon 4, Nurse Betty, Sergeant Bilko, and The Immortals. Lethal Weapon 4 was one of his most recognizable early roles, as it was already a larger franchise.
The guy you chased through Chinatown?
Yeah.
The gun he dropped matched slugs on the body on the boat. That's your shooter.
Son of a bitch, they got away from me.
No, it didn't get too far. They found him on a rooftop nearby, strangled. And get this, pigeons ate his eyeballs.
Chris later had 2 more HBO comedy specials, Bigger and Blacker in 1999 and Never Scared in 2004. Articles relating to both specials called Chris the funniest man in America in Time Magazine and Entertainment Weekly.
Oh, I am not the funniest man alive. Not by a long shot. I think, Adam Sandler's got receipts to prove he's a little funnier.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Will Smith, when he wants to make people laugh, can really do it well. I'm just the funniest guy that showed up to talk to you today.
Brilliant. Oh, well, thank you very much.
HBO also aired his talk show, The Chris Rock Show, which gained critical acclaim for his interviews with celebrities and politicians. The show won an Emmy for writing. His television work has won him a total of 3 Emmy Awards and 15 nominations. By the end of the decade, Rock was established as one of the preeminent stand-up comedians and comic minds of his generation. During this time, Rock also translated his comedy into print form in the book Rock This and released the Grammy Award-winning comedy albums Roll with the New, Bigger and Blacker, and Never Scared. His 5th HBO special, Kill the Messenger, premiered on September 27, 2008, and won him another Emmy for Outstanding Writing for a Variety or Music Program. Chris Rock also hosted the 77th Academy Awards ceremony in 2005. The decision to have Chris host the awards was seen by some as a change to bring some edge to the ceremony and make it more appealing to younger audiences. The older Oscar officials were reportedly displeased with Chris's performance, as he chose to make jokes towards A-list actors before turning the jokes on himself.
The controversy never really affected me. I didn't really think about it. I don't know, it seemed made up, put it that way. I mean, I tour the country and, I'm out across America more than most writers, as much as you guys anyway. And I'm in the whole country, and so I didn't, my fans are black and white and gay and straight, and I didn't feel like, there was any controversy at all.
Part of this whole Oscar experience for you?
The hardest part, the whole just getting the material ready without the press putting every joke in a magazine or on the internet.
And
Yeah.
also, do you have a good luck charm?
Do I have a good luck charm? I keep, my dad's picture and, close by, stuff like that. But
86. And 267.
Hey, Chris, Stephanie
hey,
from BET.
hey,
How are you?
Stephanie.
What did you feel was your best line of the night? And how did you feel seeing all that color in the room?
What was my best line? I don't know. I never, my jokes were like my children. I have no favorites. But I like the Sean Penn comeback. I just like anytime you can get something funny that, we didn't have, coming into the show. You take a little more pride in that. Always feels good to see some color in the room that don't have mops. It's always good.
267.
Chris, over here on your right.
Yes.
You had said before this that it's a room like any other room, and that in fact you've played bigger arenas, but
I
haven't
have.
been out there in front of them and been part of it. What is different about this audience?
What's different? It's just, what the only difference is? It's the lighting and the dresses and all that stuff. When I play LA, it's almost like that last time I played anyway at the amphitheater. You get a lot of famous people, and I don't know, it's just, it's TV and you can't curse. It's not, the audience is an audience. It's just what you're allowed to do to the audience. So there was some language restrictions that were placed on me. But everything worked out. 5 seconds before I went on air?
10, okay.
I don't know, you try to approach it like another show. Because the things that'll make you suck doing this are the same things that'll make you suck when you do a normal concert. So, you go there and you say, okay, I've been working on this for a long time. I know my lines. Let's bring it, you talk, it's like you talk to yourself next to yourself. Hey, let's do this shit, all right? And you get up there.
It was not until the success of his stand-up in the late 1990s that Chris Rock began receiving leading man status in films. He had made his on-screen debut with supporting roles in previous films, but went on to star in films such as Bad Company in 2002 and The Longest Yard in 2005. Chris also worked increasingly behind the camera too, as a writer and director for Head of State in 2003 and I Think I Love My Wife in 2007. "2005 was a successful year for Chris Rock. He took on the part of Marty the Zebra in the DreamWorks animated film, Madagascar. The plot follows a group of zoo animals who find themselves washed up on the island of Madagascar after a series of unfortunate events.
We've been routed out, boys.
Good evening, officers.
Now, they're being sent way out of town.
Oh, great. This is just great.
This could be the best thing that's ever happened to us. No, 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 no.
His voice acting was instantly recognizable, and he brought his own comedy flair to the role.
I mean, you have to use your voice a lot, so sometimes you can, work too much and then you can't talk and you get, laryngitis and stuff like that, especially a lot of the screaming stuff. You got to scream over and over and over again. But, hey, what am I complaining for?
The film received mixed reviews from critics, but was a success at the box office and was one of the highest-grossing films of 2005. Also in 2005, UPN TV Network premiered a comedy series called Everybody Hates Chris, loosely based on Chris Rock's school days. He was the executive producer and narrator.
Show was like a Wonder Years. It's like Malcolm X in the middle.
And you're narrating.
Yes.
Everybody Hates Chris was a parodied take of the popular sitcom series Everybody Loves Raymond.
Hey, you need a VCR?
I got one already.
Fell off the truck this morning.
Really? I'll take two.
I never realized the only stuff that sold on the street in my neighborhood was stolen stuff.
Cookies! Cookies for sale! Chocolate chip, peanut butter Dosito, chocolate mint.
I got cookies.
They just fell off the truck this morning.
Why did you say so? Give me 2 boxes.
The show garnered both critical and ratings success. The series was nominated for a Golden Globe Award in 2006 for Best TV Series, Musical, or Comedy, and also received nominations for People's Choice Awards and 2 Emmy Awards. In 2008, due to the popularity of the first film, Madagascar 2: Escape to Africa was released, with Chris reprising his role as Marty.
New Madagascar.
I'm excited.
So good. Best Madagascar. I'm not making that up. It's the best Madagascar. It looks amazing. We buy a circus. We join a Russian circus. When you see it, you're not going to believe how good it looks. It looks like, it's kind of like a David LaChapelle portrait or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like Salvador Dali did it or something. It's amazing.
Well, I think we got a better movie this time than the last, and that's saying something. The last one was pretty great, but the cast is all back, and we got some new people in it, and it's a lot of fun. Great for the whole family.
Now, how does the whole team work? Do the actors get more involved in the plot?
Well, they do, because, now they know the characters so well, and, I think that, Ben and Chris had some great chemistry going, and they got into the studio together a little bit this time, which is unusual. So they did great work.
Do you think it gets bigger, better energy doing it together?
Yeah, sometimes, the right scenes, they can really play off of one another now that they know the characters so well.
Me and Ben actually recorded some of it together, which was pretty cool. So, when you get to work with another comedian, it's always good.
Yeah, we did that one day, which was really fun because he's so good, and to see him improvise, it was very inspiring and a little bit intimidating because he comes up with a lot of funny lines. His ratio of funny lines that he comes up with is much more than mine.
A lot of people said that the second one is better than the first one.
It's a lot better than the first one, and it's not like the first one was bad. It's just, I don't know. It's just script's a little tighter, less guesswork.
The film mostly continues on from the first installment, following the same characters that audiences love. The franchise was a family favorite.
Well, we kind of make these films for ourselves to make us laugh, and we're probably pretty juvenile at heart, and so, but the goal is to, so parents could take their kids to a movie and not be bored and wait for it to be done so they can take their kids home, but everyone could go and enjoy it together. That's always the goal with Madagascar movies.
Now, as far as the cast goes, normally they just go to the studio and read their lines, and I hear that they have a bit more involvement this time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How's that going?
Well, that's what's great about working with these guys. They are incredible comedians, actors, improvisers, even filmmakers, directors, and so to collaborate with these guys, which is really what we do when we're in the recording studio with them, is just a great opportunity to make the movie better, and you get Sacha Baron Cohen in a room and he starts improvising in front of the microphone. Ben Stiller and Chris Rock we brought together so that they could play off one another and work off the page and go beyond the page. And so it's just better for the film all the way around.
We have the best seats in the house, too, when it comes to these comedians. Yeah. We're sitting in the booth just cracking up most of the time.
They're a whole lot of fun, and it's for the kids.
Yeah.
How about both?
It is both, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a combination. It's fun to do something that you are a part of the whole sort of
You're part
process,
of a winning team here.
Yeah.
It was released on November 7th, 2008, and was the 6th highest grossing film of that year. In 2010, Chris Rock starred in Death at a Funeral, a comedy about a funeral ceremony that turns into a debacle of exposed family secrets and misplaced bodies.
So sorry to hear about your dad.
Were you guys friends?
Something like that.
You telling me our father was on the down low?
Way down. Now the guy wants $30,000 or he's gonna start showing pictures of them doing stuff.
No, I don't believe that. Oh, Daddy!
The film is a remake of a 2007 British film of the same name.
It was a British film to start with. So how did you change it for the American cast and for American audiences?
We don't talk about tea as much. It took out all mention of darts. Nobody says, pavement.
Making the film and changing it for the Americans, did you think it made it more obvious the differences between British and American humour?
It's weird. Me, personally, I don't find a big difference between British and American humour. When I was over here doing on tour as a stand-up, I didn't really have to change anything. I thought everybody got everything.
Because some people say that Americans are slightly more crude than the English. Do you think
Americans
that's fair?
are slightly more crude than the English. The English are more literate people. You guys read a little more.
Yeah, and we don't talk about toilet humour in quite the same way, I don't think, maybe.
Not quite the same way, no.
It is totally over the top. But, I mean, it does show that all families, most families, are completely bonkers, aren't they? I mean, everyone can relate to something in it.
Yes, you will see your family in this funeral. It's a family movie, actually. It's so weird that it is, but it's a movie for the whole family.
Who would have thought funerals would be so funny?
Funerals are hysterical. Don't you always find yourself giggling at a funeral? It was difficult. It was difficult. I mean, especially like when you're around a guy like Tracy Morgan, that it's not really a big difference between what he does on the screen and off the screen. He's always kind of funny. So yeah, it was really hard.
When you have that level of comedians, is there rivalry between you? Do you kind of say, oh, you had more jokes in your scene?
No, we don't really have rivalry. Now, when we were younger, there was a rivalry. Now we're just glad to be working. We've seen so many guys fall off. We're like, ooh.
Death at a Funeral received mostly positive reviews on critic sites. 2010 saw an appearance in the film Grown Ups alongside his friend Adam Sandler.
Guys, congratulations first of all on the movie. I laughed my head off when I saw it last week. It was brilliant, really good fun. I imagine for you it was a very tough call of whether to be involved in this film, you know, hanging out for the summer, sunshine with your friends.
Right. Yeah.
What was that call like when Adam calls you and says, come and be a part of this?
I thought he was lying. He does that to me. He teases me every 6 months, offers me a movie, and then goes, psych.
Hey, you want to be in Click?
Nah. What you doing? Nothing. Oh, you're not working, are you? No, not working at all.
I felt by saying no to all the other movies he asked me that
you had to do this.
I felt stupid. Now it's starting to feel weird.
Was it good fun to say? Because all your families were there as well, weren't they? With your children. And...
Yes, absolutely. We had a great time with everybody's family. All the kids got to know each other pretty good. David, we kept him off meth for 2 months straight. 2 months. And it was fun to see
David
right back
again.
It's good. That's fine. I knew you'd.
It was kind of a good fun thing because, you know, you keep the trailers together. So it's still work. It's still hard. You have to get up at 5. But it was nice to know people around there to make the days go a little quicker. You always had someone to talk to. Salma was there, these guys are there. If they're working, then...
It was like a summer camp for overpaid actors.
Sounds good fun to be a part of. And with so many comedians on set, do you have moments when you're kind of trying to outdo each other's jokes so you can be the funniest?
Yes.
Have competitions?
Except Adams, because he'll cut you out.
Or take what you said.
Take what you said.
Let's do it one more time where I say what Rock just said.
Just try one that way.
Exactly. Makes more sense to the story.
It's like.
In 2011, Chris Rock appeared on Broadway in the play The Motherfucker with the Hat, which saw him nominated for a Drama League Award based on his performance. In an interview with Vibe magazine, Chris stated that he chose to do Broadway because he wanted more people to see him really act.
Nice. Kind of like being on 39th Street, but it's Broadway.
What does it mean to be honored by the Tonys? All these nominations.
Hey man, it's a good play. The most important thing is that people like it. You know?
Then, in 2012, Chris Rock starred in 2 Days in New York alongside actress Julie Delpy, which was a sequel to her film 2 Days in Paris.
I play a guy named Mingus. I'm a writer, a columnist, a disc jockey. I live with the lovely Julie Delpy and my French woman, and my in-laws are coming for the week. And then hilarity ensues. There you go. I said I wasn't gonna get mad. What's going on with you? Ever since your family got here, you've become another person. Mingus family. You gotta kiss him or he gets mad. It's my mother, no tongue. Would your dad ever key a car?
Of course not.
Well, there's an angry limo driver outside that wants to press charges.
Well, Really?
The character was better written, you know, even in the movies I write for myself. Like I learned a lot. Like, oh, okay, this the character is a real person, or, you know, a real grown-up, you know, who's been married and divorced and has children, and so it was fun to play a grown-up.
It's very funny. I think the film is not like indie in a sense of like hard to get into. I mean, the jokes are very straightforward. You know what I mean? It could be a broader comedy. It just happens to, you know, to be an indie comedy because of this financial setup. But it's actually not not funny. You know what I mean? It's actually, the whole film is comedy from
really
beginning
funny.
to end.
It's so much funnier than the Avengers. It's funnier than Battleship.
Rihanna's ass, though.
I am so.
I'm not sure about that, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
Rihanna's
not sure
ass.
about
Is her
Battleship
ass
is
in
not-
Battleship?
No, they don't. It's like.
Oh, see? They couldn't blow that up.
I mean, it worked. It worked. I had a good time. You know, she was good. She had to be extra, give me a little extra whatever attention because I didn't speak any French. So she had to explain a lot to me.
Was it funny working with her and her dad on the set?
Yeah, because they would have real fights, like real father-daughter fights in French.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun to watch.
And what do you want audiences to take away?
I just want audiences to realize this is a comedy. A lot of people think, oh, you're in an art movie. I'm like, yeah, I guess you can say that, but it's really funny. It's funnier than you think. So, take care.
In this year, he also starred in the third film in the Madagascar franchise, Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted.
I think Alex has sort of been trying to figure out through all the movies, and he, again, gets in this situation with Gia where he's kind of saying he's something that he isn't or someone that he isn't. And, I feel like the theme of the films is really about finding out who he is, and also the friendship of everybody there being there for each other. And when we finally get to New York, we realize that we're not the people who we thought we were. And then we get trapped in the zoo again. And there's something, I guess, in the story about how we're always there for each other. And that, to me, is kind of what the thing that Alex gets, is that, his friends are there for him, he's there for his friends.
Just like the others in the franchise, the film did really well at the box office, as it was the 8th top-grossing film in 2012.
They enjoy the movies, but it's really fun to have that to share.
Oh,
with
it's
them.
amazing. The first movie I ever took my youngest daughter, Zara, to see was Madagascar 2, I would believe. No, 1. And I remember we watched at the DreamWorks campus, and she turns to me and goes, "Daddy, is that you?" And, it was just such a great day. I mean, the script's great, but, as a director, I always like people that are too big, because it's so much easier to get them down than to get somebody who is too small up. That's like, oh, that's the most frustrating thing in the world. So I improv all the freaking time until they tell me to stop. And they go, okay, we gotta get this line. You gotta say circus. And I make sure after a lot of improvs that I say exactly what they want me to say, but I try to.
Grown Ups also got a sequel, Grown Ups 2, which premiered in 2013. The film received some negative reviews compared to the first in the franchise. In 2014, Chris filed for divorce from his wife, Mack Compton Rock. Chris admitted to infidelity in the marriage, as well as addiction issues. Their divorce was finalized on August 22, 2016. On October 21, 2015, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences announced Rock would host the 88th Academy Awards. When the subsequent acting nominations turned out to include no racial minorities, Chris was called upon to join a boycott of the ceremony. However, he declined, stating at the ceremony that it would have accomplished little since the show would have proceeded anyway, with him simply. Instead, Rock spoke of his concerns about the lack of diversity in AMPAS at various times during the show, closing by saying, "Black Lives Matter."
I don't know. I mean, Chris got his message across. It was all good. Everybody understood what he was saying and how he was saying it, and it was fun.
And what more do you want the Academy and the industry to do about diversity?
I don't think the Academy can do anymore. Let's see what everybody's talking about in a month and a half, see if it's still in the zeitgeist. And then we'll know if we have something there. If nobody's talking about it in a month, I'll see you here next year talking the same stuff.
it's more about the industry making a stand than the academy. It's got to come from the bottom, hasn't it?
Well, it has to come from the people who cast. And it's not just casting black actors, it's Asian actors and Hispanic actors. It's it's not just one thing. It's a change has to happen, and, it either will or it won't. We'll see.
So much, thank you. Generally, his discussions about diversity, do you think it went down well in the hall?
It's very complex. In the middle of a ceremony that is a celebration, that is not a meeting, that is not to do what he has done. He didn't have an easy year. He has been spicy in some moments. He has been kicking around. Some people may be hurt by what he said. He put the finger in the wound. Eventually, he made us laugh. Eventually, sometimes everybody was like, "Oh my God, is he going too far?" But in the overall, I think he solved very well the situation. It was not easy. Yeah.
Thank you. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
During the years 2015 to 2018, Chris Rock made many different appearances in television shows as himself, not really starring in anything in particular. He was taking a break from the spotlight. On October 30th, 2016, Netflix announced they would be releasing 2 new stand-up comedy specials from Chris Rock. The first special, Chris Rock Tambourine, was released on Netflix on February 14th, 2018. The specials marked the comedian's first concert specials released in 10 years. Then in 2018, Chris Rock starred in The Week Of alongside longtime friend Adam Sandler.
Got a big one, Dr. C?
Another day, another life.
Hello. Father of the groom. You got a sec?
Yeah. There's gotta be a decent hotel I can book.
Oh, I thought we talked about this. I told you I can handle this. Let me get the phone.
Dr. Cordes, I got the plaza.
We can cancel that. Thanks for all your help.
I don't sound like that.
You do a little.
The movie was made as part of Adam Sandler's deal with Netflix. The film was about 2 fathers with opposing personalities coming together to celebrate the wedding of their children.
It's an amazing comedy about 2 families coming together, a father trying to pay for his daughter's wedding without any help, and the lengths he'll go to pay for it all by himself without the help of Chris Rock's character, the groom's father. And it explores family relationships. 2 wildly different families are coming together and meshing together so beautifully. And also the dynamics of a father-daughter relationship and how loving that is and what's really important at the end of the day, which I don't think is money at all. So sweet. It's gonna be, I'm gonna be honest, the anticipation was worse. When I met them, they're all so down to earth, really, really funny. Adam and I would sing a lot on set together. He's a musical theater fan, and I started my career on Broadway. Steve Buscemi taught me so many lessons. He's such a grounding presence. Chris Rock is so elegant, comical, always telling jokes. Rachel Dratch, just beautiful, kind.
He brings the most comedy genius. It's his movie. I'm there. I'm just helping out, setting pics. Adam's the lead. I play tambourine. I play a mean tambourine now. I get a solo and everything.
Of course, you get jittery a couple of days before it comes out, and but we like it. We like it. Hopefully, people will connect with it, and that's why you do it.
The film received mixed reviews and didn't make it up there with some of Chris's best work. In 2019, Chris Rock starred in Dolomite Is My Name, alongside former mentor and longtime friend, Eddie Murphy.
Uniquely inspirational story. There's nobody else like him. Nobody else did it like him. This one came together when I was finished resting. This one kind of came together, and that's why we wound up doing it.
We've got a little secret weapon that's suddenly going to be unleashed, and that weapon is a big ol' missile of excitement called Rudy Ray Moore. I think everybody that sees the movie, they get excited about his story, and I think it's just extra special because it's Eddie Murphy telling this story. Every day was a joy to come to work. Everybody wanted to be there. They all felt this purpose to tell this story. But also, you know, I think it was just you get that many funny people together that have been doing the comedy circuit that long. They're going to be talking about old stories, talking about people in clubs that they remember back in the day.
The film surrounds the real-life legend Rudy Ray Moore, a comedy and rap pioneer. The film received positive reviews and was praised by critics. In 2020, Chris voiced a character and was the narrator in the remake of the classic film, The Witches. The film was a success at the box office and was praised for its remake. 2020 also saw a change in characteristic for Chris Rock, as he took on a more serious role in Season 4 of Fargo. He plays Lloyd Cannon, a Kansas City crime boss, a more serious role than he's used to, but still manages to give a stellar performance.
You sure about this? You remember what happened to the Irish?
Italians, they're the past. We're the future. They just don't know it yet.
We're the goddamn Roman Empire.
Critics praised him for playing against his normal type, and he is tipped to win an Emmy Award for his performance in the series. On September 18, 2020, Chris publicly revealed that he has been diagnosed with a nonverbal learning disorder, something he wants to raise awareness for in the future. In October 2020, Chris returned to Saturday Night Live to host the show once again. Fans were happy to see him back on their screens with another set of topical jokes relevant to today's society. Chris Rock has been making roomfuls of people laugh for more than 3 decades, something he still does best. One of the most hard-working entertainers today, his stand-up routines never disappoint and have kept his fans interested in his career and life for many years, and will continue to do so for many years to come. From showing his serious side with the role in Fargo to developing new stand-up routines, Chris Rock continues to rise to the top of American comedians and has teased that he doesn't intend on disappearing anytime soon.